One person specialized in Quran. One person specialized in Hadith. One person specialized in science. One person specialized in math. One person, so everything. And he will lead the halaqah. The 40 people will be around him. And he started something called the work group. Something that we thought it's new only the past 50 years. Actually, at the time of Abu Hanifa, he was the first one to talk about work groups and how we can come to a conclusion or to an answer using all those 40 people's opinion, not only one person. And that's why you will not find a book authored by Abu Hanifa. You will not see a book that's written by Abu Hanifa. It's because all those 40 people participated in that. And that was a beautiful thing he came with. And when he starts the halaqah, he appointed one of his students to write everything he says. And then he mentions the problem to the people. Normally the 40 people sit in the front, and thousands of people come and sit in the back to listen to the discussion. Beautiful discussion. And then he says, we have this problem, just like math. And then he asks first who has the knowledge of the Quran. What do you know the answer in the Quran? If he says no, he says, let's see if the answer is in the Hadith. If he says no, he said, then let's see if we all to think together and come up with an answer to this. Now let's say 35 people agreed that this is the right answer. And 5 people say no, it's not the right answer. Even if Abu Hanifa was with the 5 people, he goes with the 35 people. Because he goes with the majority, there's more thinking into it, and that's the right way. So he established a beautiful basis for fiqh, as we mentioned, and he was the first one to talk about it in this way. The other thing that he was the first one at doing, he came up with the idea of grants, giving students grants so they can continue their education. The first one who came up with this idea was Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So these things make us proud of our ancestors and how they came up with these things, and we don't learn these things in school, not even in Islamic countries. By the way, one thing I want to mention on the side, in my country, the Islamic study book and the Islamic study period was the most boring period in the day. They teach us about things. I still remember I was 3rd grade and they were teaching me the conditions for women to work in Islam. Why would I want to care about this when I'm 3rd grade or 4th grade? And they don't teach us about the companions or tabi'een or the Quran and Sunnah. I think that there is an agenda behind this. They don't want Muslims to love their religion. Because once we love our religion, we love our tabi'een, we will follow their footsteps and Allah will give us what He gave them. His fiqh was not based on one person's opinion. It was based on a group. And just imagine how beautiful it is to have a seminar. We have these seminars maybe once or twice a year in Houston. How beautiful it was that they used to have that seminar once a day, every day. For how long? For 30 years. 30 years between Maghrib and Isha. Abu Hanifa sits, and that's why thousands of people come to the masjid at that time. His 40 people he chose to be the experts in different branches will sit close to him. And we said that they will explain the problem, they will try to find a solution in the Quran first, in the Sunnah, and then after that they will use their brains and see what would be the best course of action. Sometimes it used to take them a week or 2 weeks to find a solution. So that's why it was not an individual, only one person who said this is how it should be. It was a group of people. Now, the one Abu Hanifa appointed to take notes and to write down everything that is being said, his name was Abu Yusuf. And now that was the most brilliant student of Abu Hanifa, by the way. Abu Yusuf later on becomes Qadi al-Qudat. And we said Qadi is a judge. Qadi al-Qudat is the supreme judge, like the highest judge in the Muslim empire at the time when the Muslim almost ruled over half of the earth. He stayed like that for, imagine, 4 Khalifas, which means around 20-25 years, Abu Yusuf was Qadi al-Qudat. So the Khalifa will not keep him if he was not great at what he was doing. So he was Abu Hanifa's student. And he used to take the notes and to write down. And they had some funny stories, Abu Hanifa and Abu Yusuf. If you remember, I said one time, Abu Hanifa thought, when he was the student of Hamad, he thought about having his own halaqah, right? If you remember, we said that. He never did it. It was just a thought. Abu Yusuf now, Abu Hanifa's student, gets the same thought, but he does it. What did Abu Hanifa do about when Abu Yusuf thought that I am good enough now and I can start my own halaqah? One thing to mention at the end, there was one big scholar at that time, or he came a little bit later. His name was Al-Layth ibn Sa'd. He's from Egypt. And he was at the same level, by the way, of Abu Hanifa and Shafi'i and the four Imams. But why was he not famous? Because he did not have a student to carry after when he died, his fiqh ended. And that's why it's important to have someone to take over after you. So Layth ibn Sa'd was having a conversation with another scholar. So the other scholar said to Layth ibn Sa'd, he said, this matter, I think Abu Hanifa made a mistake. Layth ibn Sa'd said, no, he did not make a mistake. So the other scholar got mad and he said, well, Abu Hanifa is a human being too. He's not ma'soom. He's not protected from sin just like a prophet. He can make a mistake. So the Layth ibn Sa'd said, yes, he can make a mistake, but it was not his opinion. It was 40 people who said that, not only one person. And that's why it's a big lesson to all of us. When you have a group of people working with you, the chance of making a mistake is way smaller. Because if I say something that can be wrong, there are 40 people there, they are experts. And 40 people will make a big difference. That's why work groups were great, and it was the first time that was introduced to have a work group at the time of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. The relationship between Abu Yusuf and his teacher Abu Hanifa was exactly like the relationship between Abu Hanifa and his teacher Hamad. So subhanallah, you see one generation after the other, all loving each other, and student teacher loving each other in a way that probably at our time we do not see very, very often. What happened was, Abu Yusuf one time came back from the halaqah late and his father was waiting for him. He told him, Abu Yusuf's father talking to Abu Yusuf, he said to him, I don't want you to go to the halaqah of Abu Hanifa anymore. So Abu Yusuf said, why? He said, because look at us, we are poor, we're not like Abu Hanifa. Abu Hanifa is wealthy. We said Abu Hanifa was very wealthy. We cannot afford to have you go there every day. I want you to go find a job so you can support your family with me. So of course Abu Yusuf had to listen to his father. And as we said, Abu Hanifa loved Abu Yusuf just like Hamad loved Abu Hanifa, and he used to give him a special spot in the halaqah, and we said he used to take notes and write down everything that is being said. So Abu Yusuf did not go to the halaqah the first day, second day, third day, and then he showed up the fourth day, and then he again missed a few days. So Abu Hanifa noticed that Abu Yusuf is not as regular as he used to be. So he asked him one time, he said, why are you not coming to the halaqah every day? He told him the story, we're poor, I cannot afford to come, I'm looking for a job, that's what my dad wants me to do. Abu Hanifa said to him, come to me after the halaqah. So after the halaqah, Abu Yusuf goes there and he gives him a sack of about 100 dirham. And he said, once you spend this and you need more, come back to me and I will give you. Don't skip the halaqah. And listen to what he says. Abu Hanifa says to Abu Yusuf, I see in you a great future for the Islam and the Muslimin. I don't want you to waste this future because you cannot afford to continue your education. And then, and again, in our Islamic countries, we have a lot of talents. And I had actually some friends in high school and even before. They had to, after graduating from high school, they couldn't afford to go to any school after that, and they had to go and work so they can support their family. This system in many countries now, they have these scholarships and financial aids. It helps the country itself to use these talents. So, and Abu Hanifa noticed, by the way, that not only Abu Yusuf was the one who had this financial problem, and so he established a system that at the end of the month he will give monthly salary, and we said he was wealthy, he could do that, to every student who cannot afford to continue his education, and he was the first one to establish that system that was used widely after him. Still, as we said before, Abu Yusuf got the same thought Abu Hanifa got before when he was learning from Hamad. We said that one time Abu Hanifa thought about having his own halaqah in the masjid and to kind of separate away from Hamad, but we said when he got to the masjid he decided not to do that. But on the other hand now, Abu Yusuf, he gets the thought, but he decides on doing it and he actually does it. So how would you respond? For you as a teacher, I have my own halaqah, and the student that I really took care of and I give him financial aid and all this, decided to separate and to have his own students and to have his own halaqah, what would you do? Of course, at our time, we'll probably start a fight, right? Who gave you permission? You need permission of the management and permission of the management of the management and the management of those. And then the management of all of them. And then after you get all these permissions, we might not let you. Anyway, so that did not how did Abu Hanifa responded? How did Abu Hanifa respond to that? And we said that Abu Hanifa used to give his student Abu Yusuf some grants and money whenever he needed. So his student now has his own halaqah. He dealt with the situation in a very wise and beautiful way that we need to learn. It's easy for us to go and fight, but it's not easy to be wise and to find a solution without having anybody's feelings hurt. What he did was he let him be the first day. He did not say anything. He did not do anything the first day. Second day, third day, Abu Yusuf's halaqah is growing. He's having more students. So Abu Hanifa wanted to tell Abu Yusuf that you are not ready yet. How is he going to say it to him? Indirectly. If he goes to him and tell him, you know what, you're not ready, he's not going to take it from him. He got one of his students, Abu Hanifa's students. He said to his student, go tomorrow to Abu Yusuf's halaqah and sit with him. After he finishes his halaqah, ask him this question in front of all of the students. You know, there is a question-answer session at the end. So he said, what's the question? He said, this is a fiqh question, and he supposed since he has his own halaqah, he should be able to answer you. The question is this. He said, one man went to the khayyat, the tailor. And by the way, Abu Yusuf was a tailor himself, so he wanted to ask him a question in his own profession. One man went to the khayyat, and he gave him, to the tailor, he gave him a thawb. He said, I want you to shorten this thawb for me. It's too tall. I cannot wear it. And I will give you 1 dirham as a payment. The khayyat, the tailor, said, okay, I'll do it for you. The next day, the man goes to the tailor and he tells him, what happened to my thawb? The tailor says, it's not ready yet, come back tomorrow. The next day, the man goes to the tailor. He said, what happened to my thawb? He said, what thawb? You did not give me anything. So the tailor completely denied the whole thing. So the man got mad. He said, you're lying, you stole my thawb, this and that. The tailor said, no, you cannot prove that I took anything from you. The man goes, he comes the next day. As he was passing by the tailor, he sees his thawb was hanged on one hanger for sale. And it was already shortened. So he goes inside and said to the tailor, this is my thawb, you want to sell my thawb? The tailor feels a little bit embarrassed. And he said, okay, here, you can have your thawb. Now what is the question? The tailor did the job, he shortened it. So should he give him the dirham or no? That is the question. So the student of Abu Hanifa went the next day, he sat with Abu Yusuf's halaqah when Abu Yusuf finished. By the way, Abu Hanifa told his student, whatever Abu Yusuf tells you, the answer is, tell him you're wrong. Whatever he says, tell him no, you're wrong. So the next day, Abu Yusuf sat there. The student sat there with Abu Yusuf. Abu Yusuf finished the halaqah. Any questions? Of course, Abu Yusuf did not know that this student was sent by Abu Hanifa. Any question? He said yes, and he told him the whole tailor story. So Abu Yusuf said, no, he does not deserve the dirham, because he intended on stealing the thawb. He does not, although he did the job, he shortened it, but he was planning on stealing the thawb and selling it for himself. He does not deserve the dirham. So the student of Abu Hanifa said to Abu Yusuf, no, you're wrong. That's not the right answer. Of course, the students were sitting there. Then Abu Yusuf stopped a little bit and he thought about it. He said, okay, let me tell you, yes, he actually deserves the dirham because he did the job, he made it shorter, so he deserved there was the agreement, 1 dirham. The student of Abu Hanifa said, no, you're wrong. So Abu Yusuf said, okay, then 1 second, I'll be right back. And he goes to ask Abu Hanifa about the answer. Now, what is the answer to that question? And we said Abu Yusuf did not know the answer. He had to go to Abu Hanifa. And this is how Abu Hanifa proved to him that he was not ready yet to be separated. And he told him the answer is, it depends on the intention. If the tailor decided on stealing the thawb and selling it for himself before shortening it, then he does not deserve it. If he did that after shortening it, because he shortened it for the man, then he deserves his dirham. Of course, there will be a different punishment for trying to steal it, but that's a different thing. And